A game that just a few months ago had a population of almost 7 million concurrent active players at once has now lost more than 99% of its total population and is shrinking more and more by the day. So what was the exact cause?
Alright, I tell you what was the exact cause. It's crazy. This video is... It's... the audacity to tag your video as hashtag documentary. This is such an example of a bad research, bad documentation etiquette. Like, okay, let me show you what triggered me to have a look into this, okay?
Which is kind of crazy. I'm not sure that these statistics are accurate, to be honest. I'm not sure where they're getting the numbers on player count decrease. I've heard this metric of 99% player decrease. I think I probably parroted this one as well, but I haven't seen where this is like official information. I would love to know where this 99% is coming from.
Oh, don't worry, I'll tell you. It's very easy, it's very simple. It's just people that are really, really, really bad at basic math, like secondary school level. Awful.
Did people just make this number up?
Yes.
Did people just make this up?
Yes.
Did this come out of nowhere? I'm gonna be honest. I don't think that it had 6 million concurrent players. Especially not 6.7 million concurrent players. I want to see the methodology on how that number was arrived at.
I'll tell you where the methodology is coming from. It's very bad. It's awful, dude. So it was pretty straightforward. The video links to this article, okay? So if you go down, that's pretty easy to see where the mistake was made. So first they acknowledge that the data is coming from activeplayer.io, which is of course 100% not reliable, as you can imagine. Here is where the problem comes from. So this is the sentence we see in this documentary, if you can call that a documentary, and of course, conveniently, the second part of the sentence is blurred. But this is just a big misunderstanding, it's bad writing, but it was pretty easy to check. Diablo 4 peaked at 6.7 million players. It's not concurrent players, it's average players, monthly players. That's what you can find in the activeplayer.io. What they call average monthly players, which is basically the number of players, people that play the game during the month. This is not the concurrent active player on a daily basis. What you see as the second number, 43,000 here, that's the average peak of concurrent active players. So every day, you know, it makes a nice wave as you saw on all the Steam charts. You have like a peak, and it says the average peak every day is around 43,000 concurrent active players, people that are playing at the same time. This is not what happened in June. Even the website they got the data from, it says 1 million here, but those numbers are complete bullshit, of course. They have no basis, you will see that later. So those are two completely different numbers, not representing the same thing, okay? This is not the maximum concurrent players. This is the estimation from activeplayer.io of the monthly average players. Players who played at least once during the month of June, okay? That's all. And I kid you not, that's where those 99.34% decrease in player comes from, because those people don't know how to do basic math. So let's say if they assume that 6.7 million is the maximum concurrent player, so they say like, okay, so that was the peak, and they say, okay, now it's averaging at 43,000. So that's what they did. They assumed that the monthly active player was the concurrent active player number. Okay, so what they did is basically this. And here we go. Strangely, we are pretty close to the 99.34% of decrease in player. They couldn't do the difference between the monthly active players and the average peak of concurrent active players daily. What the fuck, dude? That's... And to sum it up, I have this wonderful post I saw on the forum by an MVP. If you don't know what an MVP is, they have like a green text, okay, as you can see, it's not white like other people. They're not mods, they have a dedicated Lilith Goon cave in their house. That's the type of people we're talking about. And usually they're right when they talk about the game that they spend so much time jerking off to. So that's what they think. There is no source of actual D4 player numbers. Blizzard has it and does not release it. I am not sure why anyone would take the title at face value and not look into the data source for the numbers. If you want to look at numbers, we can look at numbers. There is some numbers. So if we look at the quarterly report from Blizzard, you just click on this link here, we pop up here and we do looking for Diablo 4. Diablo, okay. Diablo 4 here, record launch, no. Here we go. Over 10 million players experienced Diablo 4 in June. So this 10 million is actually the 6.7 million we saw previously. So according to Blizzard, their estimation is wrong. Their value is over 10 million players played in June. So that's the only data that we have so far. Okay? That's all. Alright, the game is good, the game is bad, whatever, but there's certainly not a 99.34% decrease in player numbers. It's just people really bad at math. That's all I had to say. Bye. Hey kid, come here. Forget about Diablo 4. I have some premium classic war shit you wanna watch. Look at this video I made. Look.